Hello, Planet Internet. I am Emperor Cole, and this is Emperor Cole Film Review, brought to you by MindBenderEnt.com. And today I'm here to review Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, written by Phil Lord and Rodney Rothman, directed by Bob Persetti, Peter Ramsey, and Rodney Rodman. Everybody, let's get ready to swing into the Spider-Verse together, and let's hope that we don't run into another version of ourselves. Let's do it! Woo! So let me get this review started. I'm Emperor Cole, and as you know, I do my Who are you? What are you doing in my place? What are you doing here? This is my reviews. I'm trying to do reviews. I'm Emperor Cole. Spider-Verse. I'm Emperor Cole. What do you mean you're Emperor Cole? I'm Infinity Gauntlet. I rule this whole entire universe. What are you doing? Why do you have my Infinity Gauntlet on? Yes, it's a real Infinity Gauntlet. What do you mean? Watch this. No, you can't do anything with it. It's mine. What the heck? I'm animated. Yeah. How'd you do that? What's going on here? Now you're in a cartoon. Now you're into the Spider-Verse. This is crazy. You're into the Emperor-verse. Was first announced about 2 years ago, I was a little skeptical about it. This is around the time period when Marvel had first did the deal with Sony, where Spider-Man was being brought into the main continuity of the MCU universe. Everyone was very happy about that. He had his first appearance in Captain America Civil War. So then when they announced that they were going to be doing a Venom movie that wasn't going to have Spider-Man in it, then there was another announcement that they were going to be doing an animated film. I was like, well, what's Sony doing? They're trying to introduce way too much Spider-Man type of characters. Then, when I saw the trailer to this film, I was like, all right, this looks pretty cool. I love the animation style. It looked like it was going to be something hip, something different. Now, upon the fact that I've actually seen the movie, let me tell you, the animation in this film is excellent. They blend 2D and 3D along with some different parts that actually feel like stop motion animation. I've never seen a film that utilized this type of animation style, and they did a hell of a job with it. I believe this film is going to win the Oscar for Best Animated Movie. That's how good this movie actually is. I love the way the writers actually wrote the character Miles Morales, and I love the fact that they embraced his Afro-Latino background, because he is mixed, he's Spanish and African-American, and he's like, they have scenes of him walking down the street where he's casually talking to some of his friends in English and Spanish. It's very organic and very natural. It's like something that you would naturally see in New York City, depending on what areas you actually lived in. This movie has a very New York hip-hop type of vibe to it in certain scenes, and I love the fact where some of their musical choices, they picked out very popular music that you're going to recognize once you hear it, and it just fit the moment, the scenes it matched. I love the way they did it. Peter Parker's from Queens, Miles Morales is from Brooklyn, and this movie is very Brooklyn, it's very New York, and they did it in such a way where they pulled it off in a superb manner. This movie does a very good job at blending several different tones, because there are several times where the tone of the film actually shifts, and it goes from being silly humor that might be kind of implied more for children to the humor that's a little bit more sophisticated and for adults. Then there are times where the tone gets very dark because some serious stuff happens. Then there are times where it's very reflective and it's very heartfelt, and you kind of think about family values and things of that nature. And it was all done in such a way where it was very organic and natural, because it matches the characters and it matches the moment for what they were going through, the emotions that you expect them to be feeling, and or whatever the situation was that Miles was dealing with, or any of the other Spider-Men. So Sony definitely took a chance making this movie, because not a whole lot of people were definitely checking for a Miles Morales Spider-Man. Some of the hardcore comic book fans wanted them to make a movie where Miles Morales was actually the character and not Peter Parker. But the fact that this movie is animated, that's a risk. They spent about $90 million in the budget, so it definitely was not a cheap movie. And then, like, it's definitely going to pay off in a huge way. This movie is getting great reviews. Everybody seems to love it. And the way that the characters were, where there's different Spider-Men in this actual universe, We had Spider-Gwen, we had Spider-Man Noir, we had the alternate version of Peter Parker where he was a little bit down on his luck. We had Spider-Ham, and there's one more Spider-Man I can think of where it was the young girl who had like the robot, where she had the connection with the radioactive spider. So these characters were done so well in such a way that Sony's going to benefit off the fact that Spider-Man's having this resurgent moment where Spider-Man's become extremely popular again. So not only can they benefit from the popularity of the MCU Spider-Man, that's their Spider-Man proper that they have, but now they have a Miles Morales universe that can definitely work, and they can definitely get the box office receipts for that. It's going to generate the interest as well. And they have all these different spin-off characters that they can now make movies for. Okay, so now this is not a spoiler review, so I will not speak too specifically about certain things. But I enjoyed the fact that this movie put a definite spin on the Uncle Ben story. As people all know, in the proper Spider-Man story, Spider-Man loses Uncle Ben. And I like the fact that in this particular movie, all the different versions of Spider-Man, they all had their own different version of Uncle Ben and a loss that they took. So the Miles Morales story is no different. Of course, Miles takes a loss, but it's not his Uncle Ben. But it's just the way they did it was so clever. It was something that really fit the story, and I loved how they pulled that off. So I like the fact that although we had all these different Spider-Men, they all had a common theme of loss, a common theme of losing someone that was so close to them and influential in their life. So another thing this movie did very well, I like the fact that the characters had depth to them. So not only was it just all about them being superheroes, of course you got to see more of their personal lives. You got to see what Miles' life was like before he was a superhero, and you got to see the effect of him being Spider-Man, how that affected his personal life and what he could and couldn't do. Okay, so now it's time for me to give Into the Spider-Verse a score on the Mindbender movie meter. And I'm going to have to give this movie a score of 96% Into the Spider-Verse. 96%. As you can tell from this review, I enjoyed this film a whole lot. This is one of my top 5 films of the whole entire year. I enjoyed it that much, and you definitely want to check it out while it's in theaters. Okay, so this has been Emperor Code Film Review for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. If you enjoyed this review, definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you definitely follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/MindBenderEntertainment. Follow us on Instagram, MindBender_Entertainment, and check us out on Twitter at MindBenderEnt. Definitely make sure you check out our channels for more reviews. There are definitely more that's soon to be coming. And remember, the future is now. Now, okay, I got to figure out how to get turned back into a regular human being. Being a cartoon and animated is cool, but yeah, this is kind of crazy. So I have to go somewhere into the Emperorverse and find the other version of myself and see if I can steal the Infinity Gauntlet away from him and snap and make myself a human being again. But if it's that easy, I wonder what else I could actually do with this gauntlet. Who knows? Till next time.